You walk into a luxury store, and the first thing you notice is not what is there, it is what is missing. No crowded racks, no loud sale signs, no overflowing shelves, no buy one get one, no chaotic wall of products fighting for your attention. Just space. A lot of space. Polished floors, quiet music, soft lighting. A few objects placed carefully apart from each other. A handbag alone on a table. A pair of shoes under a spotlight. A jacket hanging like it needs room to breathe. Sometimes one item sits in the middle of an entire room. And it feels almost absurd, because every normal store seems to follow the same rule. Show more, stack more, offer more, stimulate more. But luxury does the opposite. Luxury removes, it subtracts, it creates silence around the object. And that emptiness is not a failure of retail, it is the strategy. Because luxury stores are not designed to show you inventory. They are designed to make scarcity feel physical. A normal store says, look at everything you can buy. A luxury store says, look at what has been allowed to exist here. That is the pattern. In a supermarket, abundance creates value. Full shelves mean choice. Aisles mean options. Stacks mean savings. But in luxury, the meaning reverses. Too much product makes the object feel common. Too many options make the brand feel desperate. So luxury creates emptiness. Because emptiness says, this does not need to compete. This does not need to explain itself. This does not need to shout. It can wait for you. A handbag on a crowded shelf is merchandise. A handbag alone under perfect lighting becomes an artifact. The same object changes meaning because the space around it changes the story. In ordinary retail, empty space is wasted space. In luxury retail, empty space is proof. Proof that the brand does not need to maximize every square foot. Proof that it can afford silence. Distance is one of the basic ingredients of status. Things that are easy to reach feel ordinary. Things that are separated feel important. Luxury stores use that same logic. You do not grab the bag, you are shown the bag. You do not dig through sizes, someone brings them to you. The store slows the act of buying until it feels less like consumption and more like initiation. That slowness is important because luxury has a problem. At the material level, many luxury goods are still just objects. Leather, fabric, metal, glass. A watch tells time. A bag carries things. But the price is not about function. It is about meaning, heritage, craftsmanship, exclusivity, taste, identity, distance from the ordinary. In a normal store, the customer is in control. You browse, you touch, you compare, you choose, you leave. In a luxury store, the power dynamic is different. You may feel watched, measured, interpreted. The question is there. Do you belong here? The store must be welcoming enough to sell, but exclusive enough to intimidate. It has to produce desire and doubt at the same time. Think about what happens when a person walks into a Hermès store wearing jeans and sneakers. Nothing is said, but the person's body language changes within seconds. The store did not issue an instruction. It issued an atmosphere. And the atmosphere was enough to rewrite the person's posture. This is why luxury stores often remove visible labor. The store does not want to feel like a warehouse. It wants to feel like a private world. Staff are trained to read the customer's body language, to give space, to wait until the right moment, and then to engage not as salespeople, but as hosts. The employee remembers your name. They offer water. They discuss the object's history. The experience feels personal. This is not spontaneous warmth. It is choreography. Many luxury stores stage home-like meanings, domestic cues and hospitality to make the store feel like an elevated private interior. This also explains why luxury brands spend enormously on flagship stores even in an era when almost anything can be bought online. The store becomes a stage where the brand proves its own mythology. Scarcity is not just about limited supply. It is about perceived access. A product can feel scarce because the environment refuses to make it feel easily available. If 20 identical bags are stacked on a table, each bag feels less special. If one bag sits alone, the mind imagines rarity, even if more are hidden in the back. Luxury must make the object feel available to the right person, but not available to everyone. That is why the store feels calm rather than crowded. Negative space is not emptiness, it is hierarchy. It tells you what deserves attention. It makes each object seem intentional. In a luxury store, mess is dangerous. It suggests loss of control, and luxury is control. Controlled lighting, controlled sound, controlled smell, controlled interaction. In ordinary life, most people live surrounded by clutter. Notifications, bills, traffic, deadlines, crowded apartments, overfilled stores, too many choices, too much noise. Luxury offers the fantasy of a life with less friction, a life where space is abundant, where objects are few but perfect, where time moves slowly. Having less on display signals that you have more control over what remains. The empty space says, we do not need more, we choose less. Luxury retail can feel so strange. It is a store trying not to behave like a store. It wants your money, but it cannot look like it wants your money too much. This place exists because the brand has a universe, and the universe happens to contain products. That is the illusion, and the illusion is powerful. That is why the store feels empty. It is making room for the invisible. Heritage needs room. Status needs room. Desire needs room. Price needs room. Emptiness becomes scarcity. Scarcity becomes attention. Attention becomes reverence. Reverence becomes value. Value becomes identity. Identity becomes purchase. The store does not push you toward the product. It makes the product feel like it exists above ordinary pushing. It surrounds the object with silence until your mind fills the silence with meaning. So the next time you walk into a luxury store, look at the emptiness. Look at the distance between objects. Look at how slowly everything moves. Because the emptiness is not what it appears to be. It is not a room with too few things. It is a room that has learned the oldest trick in human psychology. The less you show, the more people see. And once you see the pattern, you can't unsee it.